Give Rutgers credit, tough team, tough-minded team, knew they would be good and hard to play against, and they were. So got a lot of respect for them, coaching staff, their team. It's obviously going to be a dogfight going back up there. So proud of our guys, great poise. You know, we knew it was going to be a 40-minute game. It certainly was that.
What did it take to keep answering when they're pushing you late? They cut it to one at one point. What did it take to keep finding a way?
Yeah, you know, I thought the offensive rebound there, Bruce's three was big, you know, and then converting that lob, great pass, and Evan, great finish. You know, I thought Roddy stepping up and making that three. We didn't have a whole lot going that possession, so he stepped up and made that three. You know, I thought there were stretches of the last 5 minutes where they got to their spots, and we allowed them to get to their spots, and we had trouble getting to ours, and we got to correct that, Adam. I think physically we just have to play with more force in those situations, both offensively and defensively. That's my initial take after kind of thinking through. But our guys have, you know, the sign of this team has been really good poise for the most part down the stretch, and they showed that.
How do you get more physicality?
We got to work on it, and we got to show them on tape where they got pushed off their spots. We tried to run a few things, and they were blowing it up, and that can't happen. So we just got to correct that. We've got to show it to them on tape, and they've got to run better lead cuts than what they ran, because we need to be able to get the ball to where we want to get it to. They can't blow up and deny passes. We had a good back cut on the one where Roddy kind of lost his footing, but we've got to be better with that.
Jamison became the first player to hit 5 threes in 3 straight games here since John Diebler tonight, and you know, did it with his first 5 shots. Just what have you seen from him to really find that consistency and really start? I mean, he's been shooting the heck out of the ball.
Yeah, I just think comfort level. He's got a real comfort level with now having some games under his belt. I just think he knows kind of where the shots are coming from. He knows what we expect. I think he's just much more comfortable. You know, typically it takes transfers a minute. In his case, maybe he's gotten there a little bit quicker just because he's such a naturally gifted scorer.
On that 5-for-5 start tonight from outside, you know, he talked about not letting misses or makes really affect his approach too much. You know, and watching him, it never feels like he's a guy who has really like a heat check shot, like a shot he forces when he's started hot from 3. Is that a sense you get? And I guess what does it say about a player's mentality to stay in the flow of the offense, even if they're hot shooting?
Yeah, he plays well within the flow. He'll have a heat check moment every now and then, which I'm okay with. But he plays well within the flow. He doesn't force things. We had some unbelievable offensive possessions in the first half. I mean, that one was as good of an offensive possession as you're going to see.
The 5 passes all around.
Yeah, it was a beautiful possession. We had a lot of those. We had some great paint decisions in the first half. Now, we made almost every open shot in the first half. And we missed a couple of those in the second half, and that's college basketball. So you have to really rely on our defense and other things. But we did miss some in the second half that we were making in the first half.
Chris, with Roddy, you mentioned, I think earlier in the week on your radio show, you had the conversation with Bruce in game about who should take those free throws. You mentioned Bruce was like, well, he's a good closer. Roddy is. What did you see from Roddy?
In that game, I don't know if did he say that in here? Is that what he said?
Oh no, I think it's just something you said on the radio.
No, I don't think I used those words, but I did say I think he felt like at that game he just was in a good rhythm,
right.
And he was like, hey, let Roddy shoot.
Right. Along the same vein, I guess, what makes Roddy be able to close games like this, and what have you seen from him kind of emerging in that kind of role?
Have you watched him? He doesn't get real high. He doesn't get real low, and there's an element of that players need in those situations. You know, the moment's not too big for him. He doesn't, you know, I'm not saying everybody who plays with great emotion, you know, can struggle late in games. I'm just saying he's got a real evenness to how he plays. And I think he knows he's a good player and growing into a good player, and I think that confidence and belief is a good thing.
And then for Felix, and like this matchup, you guys face Cliff every year. It's one of the better big men in the Big Ten. What have you seen from Felix in terms of matching up against some of these guys? I know it's early in Big Ten play, but what have you seen from a matchup like this?
Yeah, he got beat a couple times opening play of the second half. He can't get face cut. I think he's got a lot of respect for Cliff, so I think he had he was high attention. I think he's getting better. The weight has helped. Cliff's he's just so good on both ends, particularly defensively. So I just think he's growing in his ability to defend the post and defend guys like that.
Coach, all week you said you thought it'd be a close game.
Yeah.
At the end, you got to 17. I was worried you might be wrong there for a second.
Yeah.
Congratulations on being right.
Yeah.
So what was it about every time you guys get together? Buzzer beater last year, OT at their place.
Yeah.
What is it about these guys that you just know
Yeah.
it's going to somehow come down to?
Well, they play with great spirit. They really do, and it's heart, whatever you want to call it. They really play just with a great competitiveness to them. It's also early in Big Ten play. Teams are fighting for their lives right now. So very rarely are you going to see games. There might be a couple that get away, but most are not. Most are going to be relatively close. I think for us, we really felt like it was going to be a game that was going to come down to the last 5 or 6 minutes, and in some ways it did. I just think they've got a good team. They can score the ball. They've got a lot of guys that can score the ball, and when they're making shots, their defense allows them to stay in a lot of games.
Talking about Cliff for a second, he's been in the league for a few years now.
Yeah.
I think he only got 6 shots off tonight. So how good do you think you guys did denying him? Not just Felix and Zed, but your other guys making it tough to even get an entry into him.
I think we did a good job. A good job. Zed and Felix both did a good job. I would tell you this: they're playing more through their guards now than maybe what they played. They've got more guys coming off ball screens, so he's not as much the focal point. Their post-up percentage, when as we were scouting them, when you go back and you look at the numbers, their post-up percentages are much lower than what they were last year. So generally, they're playing less as a post-up team, which is true of most of college basketball, and more through their guards, and that was probably a byproduct.
Yeah, you talked a lot about the late game execution with maybe the more of a guard heavy lineup. So I guess what did you see maybe on those last couple of plays, especially on the out of bounds plays where I know Roddy missed that one free throw, but do you think you guys got maybe good looks?
Yeah, I liked our execution there. We got it, Bruce. We got Bruce to the foul line. We wanted to get Bruce to the foul line. We got it quickly to Roddy. Dale made a good read. Yeah, I really liked our execution in those situations. I really did. I was glad we held the timeout late because they blew up one of our actions. That's why we had to change the end of the game. So I was good with that. I thought we were really clean in that execution. I thought we were clean fouling at the end of the first half. So I thought we had some clean execution defensively and offensively. We weren't able to get to our spots as much in the last 4 minutes like we need to be.
And then quick one, is Roddy is he fine? Is just a little sore? I know he went out.
Did
of the
something
game for a
happen?
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he his ankle. He was not.
Yeah, he came
Oh,
out
oh,
for-
yeah,
for a bit,
yeah. No, he's fine. He's fine. Yeah.
You talked about that possession where you moved the ball well. You guys did that several times.
Yeah.
Why was that able to happen tonight, especially when you talked about how good Rutgers is defensively?
Yeah, I think they're in rotation quite a bit with the way they collapse in the paint. So you're going to be able to spray it. Your paint reads have to be really good. Your paint and your rim reads because of the shot blocking of Cliff. So we really focused on our paint and our rim reads being pretty good. We were able to do that and get them in rotation. Now this is an unselfish team. I believe we've got an unselfish group, and it's led by an unselfish leader. When your best players are unselfish, naturally the rest of your team just kind of has to play that way. So I really believe that's who this group is, and our guys have bought into that.
And I know you said you thought it may take Jameson a little bit as a transfer, but when you were kind of putting this roster together, did you kind of envision him, Bruce, and Roddy as kind of the big three, so to use an NBA term, for this team, and other guys kind of filling in spots?
Yeah, coaches will never use that term. That's for media people. Find media people like you guys. You can label that and put monikers on groups, and that's fine. Yeah, we just felt like he was a needed addition with what we were losing scoring, and he's been everything we'd hope, honestly. I think his rebounding. I didn't love our offensive rebounding tonight. We got to get back to doing that better. And our transition defense has to get better. But yeah, he's been everything we'd hoped. Any other ones? Couple more?
Yeah, just for Saturday.
Yeah.
I guess, what are you looking to see from your team on the road here?
Yeah.
It's your first true road test since the Penn State game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the purpose we play with, the readiness that we play with, we all know what that environment is, Assembly Hall. It's a good team. I think they're playing Nebraska right now at Nebraska. So it's going to be a great test. They're a good team. It's a tremendous environment. Saturday night, it's going to be sold out, you know. So we just need to have a real readiness of preparation and a readiness of play. And, you know, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a great test.
What is your overall vibe coming out of this game?
Good.
Good?
Yeah, really good. Yeah, feel a challenge, Adam, to get us better in some of those areas I talked about. Feel challenged and motivated to get us better in those areas, but feel really good about our poise, really good about some of the offensive plays we've had in the first half, really good about some of the defensive stuff we had. I think we need to clean up some things, but I feel, you know, really good. Did you want me to feel worse than that?
No, I was just trying to get a feel that you didn't seem quite as excited as
No,
you were about a win.
yeah. I don't know, maybe I'll smile bigger, but yeah. I feel, you know, I think as a coach, you generally are probably weighing a little bit of like, hey, we got to get better in these areas. And sometimes that comes across probably more that my focus is that, but I feel really good. I feel really good.
I did want to ask you about Bruce shaking off some early turnovers. He
Yeah.
hasn't turned the ball over like that all season. He has 3 in the first couple of minutes, but then
Yeah.
what did you see from him just doing a better job of not doing that?
Yeah, he's so sure-handed. You know, the challenge for us, Adam, is we've been really encouraging him to look at he's gotten hedged now the last probably 8 games. So we've been challenging him to get the ball out of his hands, look at the rim, and we just have to get better at that. You know, we have to get better at attacking the hedge than what we're doing right now, because he's seeing it every game right now. You know, really since the Alabama game, it's all he's seen for the most part.
I know you said that you're expecting Assembly Hall to be crazy loud, sold out, all those things. Have you also gotten assurances from them that nothing's going to be falling from the ceiling?
Yeah,
this year on
oh
your
man.
grounds?
Yeah, how many of you were there last year? I'm sure several of you were. That was a scary moment. No, I'm assuming that they're on point with the scoreboard not falling. So, anything else, guys? All right, take care.
Thank you.